There's my boy. Oh, it's a convertible. We got a nice little 72 Mustang. Let's bring this thing inside and let me tell you what is going on with this thing and the problems that he's having.
They are now in the pit of despair.
What's up, brother?
Trying to make it happen on a Sunday.
I'm feeling you, man. Thank you again for doing it. I appreciate you.
No problem.
Oh, yeah. It's not running very good. The motor right now is spitting and sputtering. It's almost like running on like 7 cylinders compared to what it should be running as. Also, I've already dug into this a little bit. This is a 2V351 Cleveland. Now, for you guys out there who don't know the difference, there is a 2V and a 4V. 2V is a 2-barrel setup, smaller cylinder heads, physically smaller cylinder heads, and a 4V is a 4-barrel with a bigger type cylinder head on it. One of the things that is a no-no that you would do is, hey, I want to put a 4-barrel on this thing. I'll just take the 4-barrel 4V intake and I'll put that on a 2V setup. You cannot do it. You physically can, but you don't want to do it because of the mismatch in the ports. You're going to run into turbulence problems. You're going to run into fuel atomization problems. It's just going to make the car run a little rougher. Not even a little. It's going to make the car run like shit. And this intake is what you would have on a 70 or 71. Oh, do I got my light? Yeah. You would have on a 70 or 71 Mach 1, Torino GT, Pantera, or a Boss 302. Or what does that mean in Chevy terms? Or plain English? This intake isn't actually, it's a rare intake, but it is the wrong intake to be putting on this motor. If you want to keep a 4-barrel on it, let's get into like an Edelbrock, something that is designed for that smaller port that's going to make things work much, much better. That right there is going to be one of the problems that he's having. I will say it also smells like bad old rotten gas. That could be another reason why this thing is just running terrible. That doesn't sound too good to me. And it stinks like bad, bad gas. So, let's turn this bad boy off. So at that point, we're going to start with the basics, try to get this thing to perform nice, and then we'll start kind of sinking into it. All right, first thing I'm noticing is all the undercoating. And why? Well, you can see where they ended up patching the floors in. This whole seam right here on both sides. You guys got to remember, this is a convertible, and having these areas rot out and have to be patched in is so freaking common. And this is a 1972 Mustang. This stuff's gonna happen. So what they did was they patched the floor in, and then they just, looks like probably used like Wright stuff or something like that. Siliconed the whole thing and then just bombed this whole underside of the car. As you can see, even the exhaust, that they just bombed the underside of the car in undercoating. Some people do it. Does it look super bad? It looks like a lot of undercoating. The exhaust would explain why it kind of sounded the way it sounded. You know, it's got cherry bombs on it, but it's old, it's rusty, it's kind of falling apart, as you can see. So that'll be something we're going to address for sure. Now, one of the things he asked me about was the transmission. It has this small leak in it. What I'm noticing is right there off the shifter. Not just coming out of the pan, a little bit's coming out of the pan, but it's off the shifter. I noticed a little bit on this transmission line over here, the front of the motor. You can even see where she's dripping a little bit here, where it's going to be part of your seals. As a customer, this is where it can start getting expensive. You have some leaks, you have things that are, you know, causing little drips and things like that in the driveway. This is not a matter of just simply like, hey, I'm just gonna change the pan gasket and we're good to go. When I start seeing things that are in like the shifter setup and all that, what you have to remember is inside the transmission, there's these little tiny O-rings that a lot of the stuff fits through. Those O-rings start drying out and you start getting leaks through like the shifter arm, or even up front where the torque converter would be, that front seal starts drying out. What that means, you have to pull it. You have to pull it and you have to have it refreshed. Same thing with the motor. If all of a sudden we're having all kinds of pan gaskets, a rear main's leaking, things like that, we have to pull the motor and we have to freshen it up. It's either fresh gaskets, or since we're already in it, do you want to put rings and bearings in it? And then you can see how you can just go down that freaking rabbit hole. Next thing you know, let's put a 671 blown 460 big block in it, and oh, let's make some power. Ah! Well, we're not going to do that. Some people don't want to do that. So my thoughts here with the car. What I'm thinking, to pretty much get him back up on the road, and he hasn't been able to enjoy it. He bought this as a project car, you know, already painted and already had some of the stuff done. He's like, I just want to be able to enjoy my car with my family, and that's what we're going to try to do. My recipe, I would say, for this is get rid of that intake. Get that thing off, sell it on eBay, whatever. You're going to be able to get some money for that. We'll get a Speedmaster, or we'll get an Edelbrock Performer, you know, something like that. We'll put the right intake manifold on it. That's number one. Number two, I would honestly, maybe a set of like shorty headers, or maybe long tube headers. Right now it's got a 2-inch exhaust on it, and where they bent it, it's like probably like 1 3/4. It's just choking the damn thing off. So I would suggest, you know, maybe like a 2 1/4 inch exhaust, maybe 2.5. I'm gonna make me a phone call to Cody and see if he wants to order up some parts. We'll take it from there. So, but you guys have thought, oh, he's over-exaggerating how bad that is. Am I? Am I really? No, I'm not. There's your port. That's the size of a 4V port. There's your 2V port. Perfect example. Oh, was I BSing you? No, that's how bad it is. Now you get the idea of what kind of problems you can fall into with these things. So again, don't just throw that 4V intake on there and think, man, I'm gonna have a 4-barrel that's gonna make all kinds of extra power. I can flat out tell you right now, you will probably make less power. Power? Apparently I'm still going through puberty. You will make less power than what you did with the 2-barrel. I know it doesn't make sense, but hopefully what you just saw, now that makes sense. Now the fun part. This is kind of the part I was dreading, because I'm sure these manifolds have probably been on this thing since 1972, and I am crossing my fingers. One, I can get to all the bolts comfortably, and two, they come off. Because putting on the headers and all that are still going to be a tight fit, but whoo, I mean, even you guys in the LS world know about snapping frickin' bolts. I'm going to do my best to not have that happen. So, hopefully they soak long enough. Hopefully they soak long enough. Now, you want to make sure you do your absolute best with this beautiful vintage cherry bomb glass pack style exhaust. You want to do your very best to take it out as meticulously as you possibly can. What? I'm like a surgeon. Hey! I'm cutting for the very first time. Kiss my butt. This is just a fucking pain in the butt. Could have done without that. Oh my God. Give it back. Come on, come on. Give it back. Give it. Give it. Give it. Come on.
They are now mine. They are now in the pit of despair. Along with all your precious screwdrivers. Your 9/16 is gone. And also, along with all of your Just 10 millimeters. As you can see, they are now mine.
Alright, you son of a bitch. Take that, spawn of Satan! Let's see if he's still down there after getting that clunked on his frickin' head, huh? So here is our pile of rusty junk that came off the car. That was a frickin' battle, I will tell you that. Also, that intake manifold and the frickin' turkey pan that we got right here. Between the weight of that manifold and those exhaust manifolds, I can flat out tell you right now, we probably just took 50, 60 pounds off the frickin' front nose of the car, and hopefully dropping one on the head of that little gobbly gremlin or whatever the hell was underneath my frickin' lift here. Oh, little creepy little guy, isn't he? Ooh, I don't know. But we are gonna end up putting on a new intake that's gonna fit you guys right, the 2V, the way it's supposed to be, not this big old monster port 4V. Get this thing running good. We're gonna rebuild the carburetor and we're gonna put a set of long tube headers on it. We're gonna do a good 2.5-inch exhaust system with some good sounding mufflers. And you guys are gonna wanna hear it, I guarantee it. But you're gonna have to wait until the next episode of the Mustang. Oh, I know I'm a dick. I'm a dick. Oh, I'm a big old frickin' throbbing veiny dick. I know I am. But you're gonna have to hit that subscribe button to see what else is going on. And then you guys are definitely gonna wanna hear this thing come to life. We're gonna give it a good 40 to 60 more horsepower. So hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys are sharing, you're liking, you're throwing it out there. And like always, until we meet again, my friends, in the next episode, what kind of crazy creations do we get going on here? Just gonna have to wait and see, my friends. So see you on the next one. Woo!